everybody. So today is Saturday. That means it's time for film and movie night. And today we're continuing on our underappreciated rom-com month that we're doing, Hidden Gem Rom-Com Month. And we're talking about a classic from 1953. It's How to Marry a Millionaire.
Letting you in on the grand and glorious adventures of three fascinating females who pooled their beauty in the greatest plot against mankind since Helen of Troy, Marie Antoinette, and Venus de Milo.
I feel like of that like screwball comedy era of the 1950s, where it was like Pillow Talk or Bringing Up Baby or Talk of the Town, sort of these screwball antics films. You don't hear this one talked about that much, and I feel like of Marilyn Monroe's films, you don't hear it talked about as much as some of her other films, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and movies like that. I think it's really fun and funny, and it definitely has some sort of tropes of the 1950s, but I think it's kind of poking fun at some of those tropes and those conventions, and it's a nice story about friendship at its core of these three women that are friends, and they decide that they're going to rent this fancy apartment so that hopefully it will put them in the company of rich men so that they can marry money for money. They don't have any money. They even sell all the furniture just to give themselves enough to be able to try to do this for a couple of months. And so they're on the prowl looking for rich men. And of course, the ones that they end up meeting seemingly aren't rich. It seems like they can't get there. And in particular, Lauren Bacall's character, she's really jaded because she's divorced and she had a marriage that fell apart. And so she's kind of bitter and cynical and doesn't really believe in love. And so this is her idea. The funniest role in the movie is from Marilyn Monroe playing Paula, who's blind. She can't see like at all. Even something that's like right in front of her, she is like, I think would practically be legally blind, but she's a model. They're all models. All three of these women are models. And so she thinks that, oh, she'll be judged for it. There's a great scene later in the movie where she meets another man with glasses, and she puts on her glasses, and the guy says, "Oh, people are crazy. You look way better with the glasses on."
You're crazy.
No,
You look better with them on.
I do?
Gives your face a certain mystery
No kidding.
and distinction, a certain kind of distinction.
Funny. I mean, she's so beautiful, and she looks great in this movie. There's a particular scene where she has a purple dress that is just beautiful, and she wore clothes so well. Her body was just absolutely beautiful, and I think she's underrated for her comic abilities as an actress. She's really funny in this, like all of her antics, not being able to see, and then when she meets this person who actually thinks she's beautiful with glasses, it's very sweet and very funny, and she's great in this. I really enjoy her character. I think that Betty Grable is less successful. I mean, her character is so stupid. I mean, it is funny, but I mean, you have to believe that she believes that she doesn't seem to know what a forest ranger, a park ranger is. And she thinks that this man in Maine owns all of the land that he shows her. And also she thinks this married man is taking her up to this elks. She thinks it's an elks lodge when it's just his lodge. And like, I probably would ask some more questions before going on to a weekend with somebody. And I mean, it's just ridiculous. She thinks it's this Elks Lodge. And and William Powell is really good. He plays JD, who is this rich bachelor. This old bachelor's 57, and she's like 23, and she kind of sets out to win him. And she's just so beautiful. He tries to be the gentleman. He tries to be kind of the better person, but she's just so persistent. that they end up getting engaged. And I just thought he brought a lot to a small role. And you know, there was a lot of humanity to him because of course she's actually in love with this other guy named Tom, played by Cameron Mitchell, who she thinks is a gas station jerky, but it turns out he actually is super rich. But she tries to deny him for a long time, but it turns out, you know, of course, she's in love with him, and so it's cute, it's fun. I like the camaraderie between the three girls. I think that they have a nice chemistry, a believable friendship, and so that's nice. It has some decent laughs, some you know, good chemistry between the various couples, and you get to see them all pair off by the end, and so that's fun. So I don't know, I just feel like it's one of those rom-coms that's not talked about that much, and I really enjoyed it. And I did, over at Hallmarkies Podcast, did a ranking of my favorite classic rom-coms. And so you all ought to check that out. I'll put a link in the description. And this was included on there because I really enjoy it. The only like really weird part about this movie is that it starts out with a long, it starts out with it and ends with an orchestra, like as if this is a musical. It's not a musical. There's not a single song. So I thought that's very weird. I don't know why they did that, but that's interesting. But my favorite, like the favorite part of the movie is definitely Marilyn Monroe. So if you're a fan of hers, definitely check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it. And yeah, let me know what you think of this one. I would love to hear your thoughts. And please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. You can check out all of my family movie night reviews. I would appreciate that. And please check out the Patreon group and the merch store. That's the biggest way you can help me and help support the channel. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.